one of only 2 amusement parks in the entire country with National Historic Site designation. There's a lot more going on than you realize at Kennywood. Ah, Pittsburgh. Don't you just love when you can see the skyline of an amusement park from the skyline of a city? Well, that's Kennywood. Hey everybody, this is Greenbean with Full-Time Coaster Tour, the only family on the internet that sold it all to ride them all, trying to get on every single coaster this country has to offer. And driving into Kennywood is one of the coolest experiences. They do a good job of getting you psyched on the way in, all the signs and the skyline and all that. By the time we got there, we were ready.
What are we doing today?
Kennywood.
What are you guys most excited to get on today?
Steel curtain.
Steel curtain? All right.
I know the name for it.
So one of the coolest things about Kennywood is, as I stated, it's a National Historic Site. This place was actually built on the site of a battle that George Washington was actually a colonel in. He was a colonel in the British Army in the French and Indian War, and they had to retreat right through the land that Kennywood now occupies. So before heading into the park, we actually spoke to a staff member about the best way to attack this place. And he pointed out that most people are going to follow this path. You can see right here, everybody's going the same way, straight to Steel Curtain. So we decided to head the other way, make a left, and head to Phantom's Revenge. And look at this, you can see it clearly. We pretty much had the whole path to ourselves.
So we've decided to head to what first?
Phantom's Revenge. We're going heavy, hard and heavy from the beginning.
What is it?
That is their hyper coaster.
What does hyper mean?
200 feet. Interestingly though, the second drop is larger than the first
Oh, interesting.
because of the mountains and stuff here.
Oh, very cool. I'm excited. I don't find out about these things until right before we do them. Otherwise, I get anxiety. This way, I get no anxiety, and I just enjoy myself.
So on the way back to Phantom's Revenge, you walk by quite a few little sites. This is their Mega Disco right here, and the former site of some classic rides that Kennywood recently removed. This is Volcano, and we arrived at Lost Kennywood, and take a look at this. I think we got some pretty good advice because there was already a 30-minute wait at Steel Curtain, and we had pretty much the entire land to a handful of people and ourselves, and we got to go on Phantom's Revenge, the Morgan/Arrow Hyper, and just look at this. Look at this lack of a line. It was essentially a station wait. I think we waited for 1 or 2 trains. And that is a fantastic start to the day, getting on one of my most anticipated coasters in the entire country. And look at this unique coaster. Look at the restraints. Look how they come down. This is very, very unique. You do not see this often, if at all. It allows for a lot more airtime, which is what you want on a coaster like this. You get the full experience intended by the engineer. And here come the kids. There they go. And let's see what they thought of their first ride. How was it? Yeah, it's good. So you fly out of your seat, sounds like they liked it, and here comes our turn, and you'll get to see us going over the hill up there for the first drop. And here we come, look for us in the first row of the second car. There I am, hands up, all that jazz, experiencing the full airtime magic of Phantom's Revenge. So take a look right here. This second drop that you're about to see, that is actually larger and higher than the first drop, which is one of the most unique aspects of this amazing coaster over here at Kennywood. We just did our first coaster at Kennywood, Phantom's Revenge. What do you guys think?
Gonna be the best coaster here.
Yeah, we saw the picture afterwards. The poor girl behind us, her whole head looked like Meryl's hair. Yeah. So to round out Lost Kennywood, the area that we went to first, they have a couple very large attractions. This one, the Black Widow, is something that I don't think I'll ever go on, but you can see it ominously swinging over the entire park. And look how pretty and gorgeous this area is. They do such a good job of maintaining it and making it very spacious, lots of trees and water effects. And there's actually another coaster back here, the Exterminator, which is an indoor spinning wild mouse. And the first of one of their truly classic rides, the Whip, is also right here in Lost Kennywood in this amazing, picturesque and fun area. And that would bring us over to the first of our ace landmarks, the coaster landmarks here. This is Thunderbolt, and this used to be a ride called Pippin. It was updated and changed to Thunderbolt in 1968, and this is such a unique layout for a wooden coaster. Right out of the station, you go into the first hill, and then there's a lift hill midway through, and then the double down. Kennywood is famous for having double downs on their coasters, which are such an amazing opportunity to get airtime, and that is right next to the last of its kind. This is the Turtle, the last remaining tumblebug ride on the planet Earth. This one has been at Kennywood since 1927. And dating back to those days, Kennywood has always placed a premium on unique rides for all ages. You can see this kiddie ride here, and the Thomas the Train that goes around the park as well. And this is going to lead us to the newest area of the park, the area dedicated to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is Steelers country, home of the world's tallest inversion and the coaster with the most inversions in the entire country. This is Steel Curtain, and you can see it up there. 197 feet is the first time that you will be spun on your head, and this is quite the coaster built by S&S. And it is tucked neatly in this area that is all dedicated to the local sports team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Jets fans and Ravens fans of this family, we could still find a way to enjoy this amazing area.
So this is the one that's causing everyone a little bit of anxiety.
The tallest inversion in the world. There it is.
There it is. How about you, Jobus?
I am going on this thing if anybody wants me to do it or not. I'm doing it. I love it.
I think I'm ready too. I'm ready.
We were able to overcome some very legitimate fears. My daughter almost backed out from getting on the Steel Curtain, but we overcame it and we were able to ride this behemoth right here in Kennywood, the newest coaster that they have. And I'll let you take a look at a few of these elements so you can see exactly what it is that we were experiencing.
What did you think of Steel Curtain today?
Probably the second best one.
What's your favorite thing?
I love it here. It's everything. It's so great here. But I have to say, Phantom's Revenge is still tops for me, even though Steel Curtain was so good.
There's a little mayhemic for me.
Yeah, it was a lot. I don't even really know what happened.
Yeah, me too.
So after riding Steel Curtain, we had this feeling that everything was going to pale in comparison. And we headed over to the final 3 coasters that they have in the park. And I have to say, we got to Racer, and it was a little bit anticlimactic at first. We were like, okay, well, now that Steel Curtain's done, what could this classic Woody possibly have to offer us? But I gotta say, first, they redid the entire area to its original state that they built it in 1927. This is also a historic landmark, and you can see, check it out, the blue train is on the left. And when they come back, you're gonna see that the red train is on the left. Ooh, mysteriously. That's because this is one of the last remaining Mobius Loop Woodies that were built back in the day, which means that the trains just continue and they ride over both tracks instead of each side being singularly stuck on its respective side. And it's a great little coaster, I have to admit. Right next to that one is the Jackrabbit, celebrating its 100th year in operation, yet another historic landmark. This thing looks like the smallest coaster in the place, and I have to say, I have to admit it, we weren't all that excited to get on it, but right there's a secret little double down right there, and you're gonna fly out of your seat. It was absolutely amazing, such a surprise. Again, it looks unassuming, and you end up going over this double down out of nowhere, and you fly out of your seat. It was such an incredible thrill on our final Woody of the day. And what would a classic amusement park be without its historic carousel? Yet again, another historic landmark, and we love this carousel. They actually are still using the original paper from the original Wurlitzer, the same paper track that it uses to create the sound. It's still being in use today, and we absolutely love this carousel. Right before we hit our last coaster of the day, the Skyrocket, the premier launch coaster. I always love to start the day with a coaster and end the day with a coaster, and Skyrocket was the perfect coaster to end it with. Super smooth, super fun, and this is right near the exit. We planned our day perfectly. We had a little skip right over to the exit, and we said goodbye to an amazing experience at an amazing park. And don't forget to like and subscribe to follow all of our coaster tour.